Hi everyone and welcome. My name is Terra and this is my 2-year update to my no-buy project ban. So 2 years ago, in November of 2022, I put myself on a no-buy, but only for certain makeup categories within my collection, where I felt like I had too much. I was inspired by Jessica Payne and her project 50 products. She's on a no-buy, she's by now doing 100 items, so she wants to finish 100 items before she can buy a new item from one of her problem categories. In my intro 2 years ago, I came in with 41 different items. And here's where I did things a bit differently to Jessica. I decided on certain goal numbers within each makeup category. And once I would hit that goal number in a category, it would move out of this project. I would no longer be on a no-buy. So 2 years ago, 10 categories. I can reveal that I'm still working on 7 categories right now. In today's update, I would like to talk to you about all of my lessons learned, and I also want to show you every single item that I still have within this project, and then also share how many items have I got in a category, what's my goal number, does it look likely like I'm gonna be able to get there, maybe by the end of the year, not so much, maybe in 2025, which categories do I still need to work on a lot more. And I also want to reveal how many of these 41 original items are still within my collection. How many of them are actually still within this project because they're still part of a problem category for me. Also, I've got a handful of focus products that I shared in my last update, and I just wanted to show you how I'm doing with those. And then we can see am I close on maybe having any more empties before the end of the year. Speaking of empties, I do have 2 empties to share with you in this update. So we'll get into all of that when those categories roll around, but let's kick off with the lessons learned. So it's been 2 years and I feel like right now this no-buy is finally working really well for me. During the first year of this project, I was still really kind of like shopping, you know. I was still using makeup shopping as something that I would go to whenever I felt like it. But I was making sure that I would not buy from any of the no-buy categories. Yes. But there were a lot of categories that were excluded from that. Nail polishes, eyeshadow palettes, and also face primers. So those categories, they just went up like quite a bit. I really, it was sort of like, what can I still purchase within this shop? Lip glosses as well, actually. That's another one that's never been in here. You know, I wouldn't go like absolutely crazy, but I was still buying a lot more than I would realistically be able to use up. And, you know, the result of that is still very much part of my makeup collection today. So in the first year, it didn't really work as such. It worked on the categories that were in here, but it didn't work overall. I was still shopping quite a bit. Now that has changed also because I then added those extra categories in here. But I think that the main thing that really changed for me was that 30-day makeup challenge that I did earlier this summer, where I only limited myself to like a makeup bag's worth of stuff. And I think I randomized 4 or 5 eyeshadow palettes, and that was all I was allowed to touch and look at within my collection for an entire month. And that really, I think, was where the penny finally dropped, and the habits that I had already been working on establishing with the no-buy, it really sunk in, yeah. Having said that, I think it was really useful for me not to put myself on an entire no-buy for absolutely everything when I started out 2 years ago. I think that would have been too difficult for me to achieve. So I think I would have just given up probably and shopped way too hard to make up for it. So in retrospect, I don't think I would change anything. I think I would still go in if I was to do this again or give you some advice. But then, you know, bear in mind that everyone is different, everyone shops differently, everyone's got different habits, different reasons for doing their habits. But still, I think it's useful to not put yourself on a complete no-buy if you're going like cold turkey, you know, from shopping a lot to like nothing. You may find it really, really difficult when there's not a single outlet for you to do your makeup shopping with, you know, yeah. I think it was useful, but because this is a long haul project, I needed that. I needed to see that I was buying way too many face primers, and I think I had 12 when I added them to this project, whereas at the beginning of 2021, for example, I had 0 face primers. And I also bought so many nail polishes, so many eyeshadow palettes in 2023, and I knew I had to put a stop to it. So in 2024, I decided I would only allow myself 1 eyeshadow palette per season. And I have to say, those 4 per year, that really has worked out for me. It's still not the end of the year, obviously, but tomorrow's Black Friday as I'm filming this. Cyber Monday is still on the cards as well. I am not interested. I have looked, don't get me wrong. I've also been tempted by advent calendars, but as soon as I think about having all these like 24, 25 new items in my collection, with usually like at least a quarter of them or a third of the stuff that I know I wouldn't want, no, I'm not interested. Like, it's nice to window shop, but I'm not interested. So the no buy is working. Another thing that really has changed over this past year is that I am no longer taking on as many declutters as I have been in the past. Declutters was something really, really super attractive to me because even though I was on a no buy, you know, I still was able to bring new things in without spending any money on them. So technically I wasn't breaking my no buy, but of course new items were coming in. And I got a ton of stuff from Ruth Foley here on YouTube. And I'm so grateful for the lovely things that I got from her. And I got a couple of other declutters here and there from friends and family. Super happy about that. But a lot of them are still here within my collection. And if they weren't here, these categories would have already moved out of this project. Never mind, I really enjoy this project so much, so I'm really not upset about it. But I do want to just honor the fact that I'm really proud of myself for saying no to declutters now. It's something that had been really hard for me, so now there's been a couple of examples in the past recently where people have offered things to me and I've said, do you know what, these are lovely and thank you so much, but no thank you. Don't want to bring anything more into my collection. So this is growth to me. Doing this project has obviously massively helped me to understand how long it takes me to finish up an item, and to also understand how I underestimated that time when I started out with this project. I really thought, I probably thought 2 or 3 years or something, but I really did think I'd be much further along by now. And you know, there are some categories where I have yet to finish an item. And that's just the way it is. It doesn't mean that I'm not using my things. I'm really trying hard, but apparently I'm a slow panner when it comes to certain categories, and that's fine. But then again, there's also these bursts where I seem to be finishing a lot of items. The 30-day makeup bag challenge massively helped with that as well, and that really motivated me. And it really seems to be like with buses, you know that saying, like you wait for ages and then 3 come along at once. It really feels like that with empties as well sometimes. But yeah, whenever there's a lot of things that are finished and I have really dedicated so much time and effort into trying to finish them and they're done, I'm so happy. And that then of course motivates me to keep me going, and it's lovely to see the number going down, creeping down slowly closer to that goal number that I have in each category. And of course, when there's time to move out a category, I am so happy about it. And there's only been 4 of those. So foundations, face powders, lip liners and lipsticks have moved out. Everything else is still here. I think I will probably do another 30-day makeup bag challenge come this summer. I mean, the reason why I did that was because I felt quite overwhelmed with projects at that point, and it just didn't feel fun anymore, and it felt like I was getting nowhere because I was just trying to spread myself really thin, overwhelmed with eyeshadow projects, but also with face products, and I just felt like there was 0 progress. So I wasn't motivated, it was stressing me. It was a really good thing to do, and I think I will do that again with the sort of feedback, lessons learned that I shared in my part 2 video from last summer. The urge to buy something new had vanished. I just switched my brain over from wanting something new and exciting to just really working away at something for the long haul and seeing progress, being motivated by that, but keeping with that. We're in an interesting time of the year right now because it's the end of November, maybe even very early December by the time you're watching this. Fingers crossed it's still going to go up in November. I'd love that to be the case. And I definitely find myself a little bit burnt out on some of the items that I'm working on, where I know I will probably not be able to finish them for the end of the year, but they're in my plan to pan for 2024. But at the same time, I'm not burnt out enough or bored of them enough to just ditch them completely. I'm really looking forward to working with my 25 and 2025 items and just, yeah, rotating through my collection that way. And that plan to pan is just another reason for me to not be craving new makeup. Over the course of these 2 years, I've actually seen my collection physically shrink as well, which is super satisfying. And even though it still takes up the same amount of space, I mean, I'm still using the exact same drawers, I can see that, you know, there's some kind of silver lining. I hope by the end of next year, or let's say at my 3-year update, I will maybe be able to incorporate everything into my 2 makeup drawers rather than have 2 makeup drawers in my Alex drawer desk situation and then also these extra ones. Let me just show you one of them. I've just got these like IKEA wooden ones, so these are holding my face primers, for example. But yeah, I would like to move this, you know, chest of mini drawers out of my wardrobe. It's sitting right behind you right now in my wardrobe, taking up valuable wardrobe space that I could be using in a different way. So that's my goal for the coming year. All right, let me show you what I've still got in here, how many items in those categories, what's my goal number on each of them, and then just quickly hold them all up so you can see what's still in here. And then of course, right at the end, I'm going to pull those items that I still have left from my original 41 items for my intro. Before I show you these items though, I very quickly just want to point you towards my description box below, because there's a list of amazing panners down there who have joined in and they're doing their own version of a No by Project pan as well. So please check them out as well, show them some love. You know, it's real dedication to be working on something for this long. It's a real long haul thing. And during those times where you're really not motivated and you're craving new stuff because it's your go-to thing for when you're feeling terrible, you know, it's so helpful when you can hear these words of support. And just massive thank you to all of you here who have been supporting me on this journey. Your support means a lot, because I definitely had weak moments in these past couple of years, and just knowing that I've got this audience here, my community, my friends who I'm accountable to with this project has really helped me. And your words of support help me when I'm feeling bad about myself and I'm wanting to go and shop something. Okay, let's kick off with face primers, and I actually have an empty. So happy about that. So this was the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. I know it's so tiny, but I still managed to finish it. There were 5 milliliters in here, and I managed to finish it since my last update. And at my last update, it was still sealed. So I'm now down to 8 primers, and my goal is to be down to 3. I'm actually immediately going to come in here and say I'm going to adjust that goal. I want to be down to 2 primers before I can officially move them out of this project. So yeah, that's a change I'm making at this 2-year point. And the other primers I still have in my collection is this Catrice, the Mattifier Oil Control Primer. I'm trying to finish this next year. Also trying to finish next year my Bare Minerals Primetime Original Foundation Primer. Another one for next year, Revolution Pro Radiant Peach Primer for brightening. My all-time favorite drugstore one, Revolution Pore Blur Primer. It will be difficult actually to go down to 2 before I'm allowed to repurchase this one, but yeah, a special occasion one I think this one will be, and I'm gonna focus on these other 4 that I'm trying to finish in 25. Okay. Then I've got this one. This is a color correcting one, Trended Up Perfect Prime by Redness. A moisturizing one, Alverde Hautbildverfeiner. This one is another focus one for next year. And then another one that is quite moisturizing, the Revolution Ceramide Primer. Quite a lot still in here. Looks really fun. Why have I only got 7? Because I forgot one. And then the final primer is the Collection Gorgeous Glow Filter Finish Complexion Boosting Primer and Illuminator. I use this to tidy up fallout from eyeshadow. It's got a doe foot applicator. It's very highlightery. Doesn't really work as a face primer all over, but it's in my face primer category. So that's my 8, and I'm now 6 away from hitting that goal. Next is my brow category. I am currently at 1 and I would like to be at 0 before I'm allowed to buy a new item. It's technically a single eyeshadow. I did toy with the idea of merging it with my single eyeshadow category, but there's still different things, so I'm going to keep it this way. And this is a MAC single eyeshadow here. I'm going to insert a picture of what this looked like in the intro. I think that's a super satisfying pan expansion, but bear in mind that is across 2 years, and it's probably going to take me another year before this is done. It might still be here this time next year. As for cream eyeshadows, I'm currently at 8. I feel like I showed you an empty at my last update, and my goal is to be down to 3, so I'm 5 away from hitting that goal. I've chucked a lot of them in my plan to pan for next year. We'll see how that will go, but here's my 8. There's a concocted one, kind of purpley, mauvey, taupey, shimmery. I haven't started using it yet. I've only swatched it once, and that was in my plan to pan video, 25 and 2025. So here's my one potted one, and the rest of them are in stick form. I've got 2 purple shimmery ones. One is by Kiko, and this is long lasting eyeshadow stick, 24-hour, no transfer, in the shade 11. This is it all the way rolled down. So I've used it a few times, but you know, it's still a backup item. And then there's this one here, H&M Make It Easy eyeshadow pen in Lavender Flush. I am trying to finish this next year. When it's rolled all the way down, I am here with it. And I'm gonna give you weights on this one because it has been a focus item in the next section. So I'll keep this out for now. And then there's these 5 fun ones here that I got from Ruth. There's the Nudestix Magnetic Matte Eye Color in Terra. Trying to finish that next year. As well as this one, Vive Eye Wand in Silver Mink. Here's what this looks like. There's more left. All the way rolled down, I am here. And then these 3 are Elf No Budge Shadow Sticks. There is Bronze Metal. I think I've got this one in 50 Shades of Brown to finish. And then Champagne Crystal, I also rolled in to finish at my 6-month update for 50 Shades of Brown. Wish me luck, that's a lot of eyeshadow sticks, because I'm also trying to finish this one. This is Perfect Pearl next year. But then, you know, 50 Shades of Brown ends in April, mid-April, and obviously I've got until 31st of December 2025 to finish the other ones. I'm quite happy with that goal number, 3 different ones. I think a light one, a dark one, and a purple one, and I'm happy. Eye pencils, I am currently at 5 and I would like to be down to 2. My newest is a gift that I got, and this is Dramatic Japan 010 by P2 Intensive Kohl Eyeliner. I haven't used it yet. One to sharpen. I'm going to ask you a question about that when we come to our focus products. And then there's the Maybelline Tattoo Liner in Soft Bronze. And this is it here. I will show you like progress on items again from like a handful of focus products at my next update. There'll be one more in December and then the next one in January, you know, obviously once a month. And then there's these 3 little ones. There is really not a lot left in these. Yeah, this one is a black waterproof one by Art Deco. Then I've got a purple LA Girl Perfect Precision eye pencil in Deep Violet. And another Maybelline one. It's A Kohl in 38 Brown. moving on to my single eyeshadows, I am currently at 2. At my intro and last year I was at 1. What has happened here? I have actually decided to reclutter a single eyeshadow that I had decluttered ages ago, over 2 years ago, but I still haven't been able to get rid of it. I think the reason I held on to it was because of Back to MAC. It's a MAC single. I haven't been to a MAC shop. Maybe I have actually, like, part of their, you know, their stands or whatever, concessions were within a department store, but I had never remembered to bring it with me. I would like to try and pan that one, and it's a black, or an almost black, and it's called Typography. It's got a lovely, lovely pan on there, and I'm not 100% sure yet which pan that palette I'm gonna do, but there's, either way, between the two, I'm really, really close on deciding on. There's no black eyeshadow in there, and I quite like to have a black eyeshadow in my collection, in my everyday use. Not every day actually, but just certain looks, especially when I want to wear something a bit deeper, darker, more smoky. I definitely need a black eyeshadow. So I think, why not use this one? That would be so satisfying. And this is a natural pan. I hit this before I even knew that there was a word for it. I'd always wondered what the word for hitting pan was, but I never knew. So this is coming back into my collection. And then the other one is a Kiko, and this is from their Smart collection in the shade 16. It's beautiful. I've been wearing it as a blush topper, not today, but yeah, most days recently. I am probably going to depot this, and then it will go into my single eyeshadows within magnetic palettes. It won't count in here anymore because I'm only counting components, single eyeshadows like that. I want to be down to 0, so I'm gonna have to do some type of panning, at least with this one. And now let's talk about highlighters. So I am down to 3 highlighters. At my last update I was at 4, and my goal is to be at 1. I've still got a lot to do here, but I do have it empty. This was one of the items I got from Ruth. This is the Vive Skin Dew Glow Multitasker. It was very oily. I tried it on my face initially, and then I tried frankening with it a little bit as well. That didn't quite work out, didn't survive the heat in the summer. I had a massive cream makeup declutter, unfortunately. But I managed to use it up on my body, enjoyed it for that. It smelled really beautiful, like kind of like vanilla. It was nice, you know. Glad it's done though. Yeah, happy days. Okay, so down to 3, the ones I have left. There's this one here, Physicians Formula Rosé All Day Set and Glow. I had to rip out the cream makeup section here because that had gone rancid. This was the advent calendar that I bought last year. I'm not doing that anymore this year. I have learned my lesson. It's a beautiful highlighter and my only powder highlighter. Quite happy to have it. And then I've got a liquid highlighter, probably more like a bronzer, maybe like a highlighter in the summer. With these sort of illuminating items, they're just going to be in my highlighter category because that's probably how I'm going to be using them. LA Girl Luminous Glow Skin Illuminator in Sunlit. Another item from Ruth. I have used it a little bit here and there. I've really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's one of my 3. And then finally the Dr. Hauschka stick. It's for lips and cheeks. And here's this one. This was a declutter from my mum, and because we swapped and I actually ended up decluttering a face powder to her, which meant I reached my goal number in this category, and this category rolled out of this project. You know, I don't feel so bad. I haven't taken this on, and it's a really beautiful product, and I know it would have just expired in her drawer. This is best before September 2025. I'm trying to finish it next year. Final category, blush. I am currently at 11, and I would like to be down to 3. And I have yet to finish a blush. Maybe 2025 is going to be the year where this happens. I'm going to kick off with powder blushes. There's this one here. It's a Franken that contains Sisley and Bare Minerals. I've got quite a nice bit of pan showing here, so that's quite satisfying, even though it's in an odd spot. And you can see I've taken out the single pan there and stuck it into my magnetic palette. It basically just came out. I was just testing with a magnet to see if it was magnetic, and I was able to just lift it out. It's a very, very old product, and yeah, I'm trying to finish this franken powder this year. We shall see. I might, let's put it that way, when it comes to repressing it, I'm probably going to take this out as well, out of this component, and then it's just going to join my magnetic palette. No, it probably won't count in here any longer. I'm not sure yet, but I'll probably recycle this packaging then. I'm gonna have to have a little think how I might do that in terms of counting the numbers. There's also this Laura Mercier shimmer block here. This was originally in my highlighter category, but I moved it across because it's far more like a blush topper for me. So yeah, that's still here. Then I've got a NARS mini blush in Dolce Vita. And here's this. I barely used this past year. That's such a pity. Another one from Ruth, and this is the Milani Baked Powder Blush in Dolce Pink 01. Really, really love this. Bit scared of it because it is, of course, domed. One day. And then I still had two of these sort of pigment components here by Bare Minerals. These contain Franken Bare Minerals blushes. And I had two of them, and I'm now down to one. I think I shared that at my last update. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Okay, down to 11. I still need to finish 8 more before I reach my target. We'll be here for a while. I haven't even shown you my cream blushes yet, so let me do that real quick. There is the Tower 28 Beach Please Power Hour. It's also for lips and cheeks. I'm trying to finish this year. The packaging is broken. I mean, this is just sellotape together. It's another one from Ruth, by the way. And yeah, I might franken it just with one scrap of a lip balm maybe, or even a lipstick, and then try and use it up that way. I won't do massive frankens anymore because I think I might not have the time to use them up before they go bad. Then there's the PS Cream Blusher, another one for next year, another one from Ruth. And here's what this looks like. Another one from Ruth, e.l.f. Putty Blush. I'm not sure what the name of the shade is. I really can't tell. And this is what it looks like. So quite peachy and light, bright. And then I have this one, H&M Do It All Stick in Rose Coral. Absolutely love this one. I would 100% repurchase this. And this one came in an advent calendar last year. The Made by Mitchell blush in Rosy Posy. Quite enjoy this one, but yeah, I might repurchase. Well, I will need to finish this first. It's a long, long journey. Okay, let's look at the progress from my 6 focus items that I showed you at my last update at the beginning of this month. So the first one was this Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. I already told you that I managed to finish it. And this was in fact 4.29 grams that I used up. So 5 milliliters, but it's obviously lighter. I also wanted to focus on the Tower 28 blush. It's the cream blush that I'm using every single day right now. And during November, I've been able to use 0.29 grams worth of product. Whew. That's really not a lot considering there's 4.5 grams net in here. I don't think I can finish it for the end of the year. I'm gonna keep going anyway. I think there's quite good progress here on this Art Deco black eye pencil. I've used up 0.31 grams worth of product. I am now wondering whether I should even continue to use this in 2024 because it's part of my 25 in 2025. And maybe it would be strategically better to hold off panning this year so I can have an easy gimme product at the beginning of next year. And maybe I should switch to the one that I didn't put in my plan to pan for next year and use my P2 Intensive Kohl black eyeliner instead, or just any of the other 3. What do you think? Let me know down below. I mean, the alternative is that I try and finish this up this year and then replace this item in my 25 and 2025 items. But I feel like, I don't know, it feels like that could be less fun to come in at my first update and say, oh, I need to make a switch because I finished something early. Let me know what you think. Another focus item is the depotted cream eyeshadow called Based from my Revolution Pro New Neutral Luxe Shadow Palette. I'm trying to finish it this year. This is a very, very thin layer of product here. 4 or 5 more applications, if that. The weight went down by 0.2 grams, which I guess isn't bad for, you know, a cream eyeshadow. The only reason I'm showing it, I mean, it's not in this project, but I am showing it to you because this is where my focus is right now. And then as soon as I'm done with that, so yeah, like I said, I think within the coming week, I will be focusing on these two instead. So I've got the Vive Silver Mink and then the Lavender Flush by H&M. And I've already started using these a little bit here and there. And I've got a weight difference of 0.02 grams on both of these each. Those were my focus items. Let's look at the items that were in here since the intro that are still here 2 years later. The first item from my original 41, and it should come as no surprise because I already showed you the picture from the intro, is my MAC single here that I use in my brows. And then also the Maybelline Line Refine Expression Kajal Kohl in 38 Brown. It is still here from 2 years ago. Also, the Kiko single eyeshadow was here in the intro. The NARS blush as well. The H&M Do It All Stick. The Sizzly blush. The Bare Minerals blush. And the Laura Mercier Shimmer Block. Also still here from those items from my intro, but they are no longer in this project, is my L'Oreal lipstick, a red one, Blake's Pure Red. And here it is. Also still here, the Revolution Velvet Kiss Lip Crayon in Decadence. This lip liner here in Mango Splash by Makeup Gallery. And my concocted foundation as well. I mean, it's probably not the exact same product anymore. It definitely isn't because I keep adding to it. I've been using it across the 2 years for sure. So that means out of those 41 products that I had in November 2022, I still have 12 left. You might say 13 because this one was already here at the intro as well. I just recluttered it. So yeah, let's say 13. So from the 41 I showed you in my intro, only 8 are still remaining within this project. I'm really, really happy about that. That is a difference of 33. I'm really happy with that, actually. And that is mainly by going through them and finishing them. There were a couple of declutters here and there. On some very rare occasions, they've gone to a new home. I'm thinking of a Revolution powder bronzer, for example, that I never used. I gifted it to a friend, neighbor, and there were a couple of items that just went bad, so I couldn't use them anymore. They had to be recycled. So yeah, there's that. But you know, I think that's still like a realistic way of looking at it, thinking about how much you can naturally go through in a collection, because yeah, we do get gifts, we do also gift things to others. So that's about 16 or 17 out per year. So that can give you like a rough idea of what you can expect to be able to go through in problem categories within a year. But you know, everyone pans differently, and also let's bear in mind that I know last year I panned a lot more because I had a lot more items that were easier to pan or that were almost empty already, whereas this past year it's been a little bit less than that. I'm going to cover all of that in my finale for 24 and 2024. I'll be sharing some numbers there. Yeah, you'll be able to see there how many items did I actually finish this year entirely. That's still to come. Hopefully, fingers crossed, there'll be more empties. If they are from any of the categories that are still within my No Buy Project pan, I will of course share that with you in my December update for this project. I've really been enjoying this No Buy Project pan. Like I said in the beginning, it really has helped me. It's really helped me to curb my spending, especially on makeup, but I feel like it's translated into other areas of my life as well. where I just, yeah, I want less. And whereas in the first year after I moved foundations out of this project, I definitely shopped more foundations again, just because I could. And the numbers quickly went back up. I am technically on a no-buy for everything in my collection right now. I have just not got that urge anymore. Yes, I am tempted here and there, but if I really spend time to think about it, I just don't want to ruin the progress that I've already made. I've come so far already, so I don't want to, you know, with just one impulse purchase, I don't want to just ruin all of that hard work. So, yeah. If you're doing a no-buy project pan in 2025, or maybe you're already jumping on a little bit early, I did that. It worked out really well for me. Please let me know so I can link you in my description box below. Come and cheer you on as well. Other people can come and support you as well. It's really not an easy thing to do, but it is so much fun, so rewarding, and you can totally nerd out on progress pictures, progress lines, numbers, stats, all of that. And that's going to be so much more exciting than buying new stuff that is just cluttering your home and your mind, essentially. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the end. I hope you will stick around and subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you here. Thank you so much. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or night, wherever you are, and I'm sending you so much love. Take care. Bye.